Good day, my fellow entrepreneurs, and you're welcome to yet another exciting episode of The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. I am IBM Bangis, and I remain your host for this show. Now, today on this episode of The Entrepreneur, we'll be looking at two particular things. Now, one of them is, I got a request from one of you saying that I should expatiate a little bit further on the topic of talent and skills. I did an episode, I think was it last 2 weeks or so, where I did speak about talent and skills, the differentiation between talent and skills. And one of you wanted me to expatiate better. Now, I've always said it, that one of the most misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to succeed out there is the separation between talent and skills. Now, talent you have naturally, but skills is only developed after hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. Now, in business, we believe that one of the yardstick or the benchmark for you to become skillful is for you to spend 5,000 hours. And I've always said it, that no matter how talented you are, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how gifted you are, if you're not skillful at what you want to succeed in, you will never be successful. So skills beat talent when talent is not skillful. Now, another thing we'll be looking at is the role or the importance of women in our society. There's this amazing quote that behind every successful man is a woman. Now, this quote goes a long way in showing us the role that women play in our families, in our homes, and in our daily lives and every aspect of life as it is right now, actually, if you look at it. Gone are the days when our sisters and our mothers used to just sit at home and just take care of the family. Right now, we have women excelling in different fields of lives. We have women excelling in politics, we have women excelling in fashion, in the automobile industries, in the engineering department, in so many things. We have women presidents. Now, I want to give a very, very big shout out to all the women out there who are struggling or who are striving to become successful in this very, very competitive world. Now, just like every other week, today I have an amazing guest in the studio here today with me. She is the founder and the CEO of Zeekan Red Dishes, but I will be introducing her after the break, so do stay tuned for the break. Why do you want to become an investor?
It's an abstract, and I think I would say it's based on our wits or our chances. It's a risk.
First of all, you have to have general understanding of that industry to start with.
Imagine you doing a transaction between Nigeria and China and it delivers within a space. How I got to make that money, the profit on it, I don't know. But you get faced with few challenges and you feel, oh, it's time to give up. Maybe this thing is not for me. It's not for any of us. Consistency, you have to be honesty, you have to.
Business, if you are being honest.
I am IBM Bangis, and I remain your host for the show. You're welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the differentiation between talent and skills. And I did mention that talent is something you have naturally, but skills is something that you must develop after hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. And I did mention that I have someone amazing here in the studio today here with me, someone who is talented at the same time also skillful, somebody who has achieved an incredible amount of success in her own business. She is a woman with passion. She is the person of Madam Z. She is the CEO and the founder of Zeekan Red Dishes. So Z, you're welcome to The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
It's good to have you on the show. So Z, I just introduced you, but I don't think I did justice to that introduction. So could you tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you do, what you're into, and anything you can give us?
All right, to start with, my name is Zainab.
Okay.
Adiola Adebukola Asan.
Okay.
A mother of two, and was a journalist.
Okay.
Let me tell you how the story started. After my school, started with AIT, journalist for 8 years,
Wow.
newscaster, reporter, and at the same time, a program presenter.
Okay.
From there, I felt, okay, let me just live the social life, like the public life. Which
That's the
we
media
call
life.
it. Yeah, the
Okay.
media life.
Okay.
So I stepped down from media to start with insurance.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I started with Name Insurance. From there, I became a branch manager.
Wow.
While in between, I started my catering service.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I started cooking at the age of 9. And from there, I love cooking. When they asked me, what's your hobby? I said cooking. And some people were like, wow, cooking? Why some people say they don't like going into the kitchen. I can cook from morning to night and I don't even care. So from there, I started gradually And I felt like 2020, it's time for me to say goodbye to people, to say yes, sir. Just like we
Okay.
Africans say it.
So you
And let
became
me
your own
go
boss, right?
Become my own boss. Yeah, that's Zainab.
Okay. All right. Well, if you look at it, actually, entrepreneurship is seen as a very hard path, especially for women because of, our cultural beliefs and our religious beliefs here in Nigeria. So,
Yes.
given that is a hard path, how are you coping as a woman entrepreneur? And have you ever been intimidated on this path?
Yes, but I've always been prepared.
Okay.
Being a journalist, you had to be bold,
Okay.
ready to face anything. So from there, I already had that at the back of my mind.
Okay.
That no, you really had to do this.
Exactly.
All the job I've done at the past before being my own self, it's a job that you had to face a lot.
Okay.
Being a marketer in an insurance company, it's not something easy. You can sell money to people, but you cannot sell what it's not visible to people.
Exactly.
So it's kind of difficult right from there, and I got used to it. So coming into my own, I already have it at the back of my mind that this is going to be tough, Zainab, and you still have to go for it, no matter what.
Exactly. For you to succeed in anything you do out there, I think one of the fundamentals is for you to understand your why you're doing something.
Yes.
You did mention that you started cooking from the age of 9. So was that what sparked your interest in catering, or was this something that motivated you? Or, I would like to do catering because I love food, but I cannot cook. You get the point? Okay, so what sparked your interest in catering?
Okay. Just what I said when I was 9, I started cooking. So
Okay.
whenever my mom goes to occasion, I'll tell her, Mommy, I want to help you in this mothers that where they gathered to cook. And she'll tell me, you're too small to do that. And I love seeing weddings, parties, to share food. I don't love eating anyway, but I love cooking. So from there, I was like, let me start something.
Okay, at least you
Since
should do
this is
something.
what I love to do, seeing people eating my food and they say they enjoy it. And I like playing around food a lot. I could just
Exactly.
sit, see something on the TV. I like, Zainab, you can do something from the English part of it to the African part of it.
Okay.
You can use the same ingredients or use your own African ingredients
And make up
to
something
create
new.
something like that
Wow.
or something better than that.
Okay.
And I'll just
Okay.
give it my own name.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's
Yes.
good, actually. Now, talking about business, starting up your own business, one of the most difficult things for people out there who want to start their own business is this issue of funding. A lot of people will tell you that they want to start a business, but they don't have the money to start their business. How did you first raise funding, and how much was the amount that you first raised to start your business, to start your first business venture?
My first business, actually, it's very simple in my own catering service because most women have their pots, they have the gas, they have the kitchen utensils.
Exactly.
So I started with where I was working.
Okay.
So give
Was
me
it the insurance?
yeah,
or-
the insurance company.
Okay.
I started with that, and from there, I used what I have at home to
Okay.
prepare the 20-30 pieces of the plates they want.
Wow.
So from there, I started, increasing. You keep saving.
Okay.
Because food business is a very good business, if you
Ex-
must know.
Exactly.
If it is not what is happening now in the country,
People
food
must
business
always
is-
eat, right?
Yes, because no matter what, you will see people eat. So
Definitely.
from there, I started, saving the little profit I get from it. Whenever I get like a little 10,000 naira, I try and see what is it I need, like an equipment. I
Okay.
get it with it,
Okay.
and I'm still working. So with that, I gather my money, I gather my property, I gather my utensils, and all that. Before you know anything, I just like, okay, my savings, what can I get a space,
Okay.
and I started gradually.
Okay. So from the first, or let me say, from the time you actually just made the decision that you want to go into business, that's, you started from your insurance company, small, and
No,
then,
I actually make decision.
okay, you made the decision,
2020.
2020.
I started insurance company 2019.
Okay.
And the following year, I made a decision. But I've been doing this small business right from the polytechnic.
So as at 2020, how much did you think it took you to start the business? Or to
Well,
expand the business,
Yeah,
if I was
it's two
saying?
business, if you must know.
Okay.
It's a restaurant and I have a garden.
Okay, wow.
So it depends on which one
So
you're talking about.
let's talk about the restaurant. I think most people, getting a garden would be a difficult thing for them. So let's talk about the restaurant.
But do you know, even getting the restaurant is more easier than getting a garden.
Well,
Yes, because if
You
you want
could
to
say
get a
that.
garden, you need a very big space.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
you need
So
to
that's my
pay
point,
this,
you know.
you need to pay that, you
Exactly.
need to construct.
Exactly. But
But
you know,
in a
for a
restaurant, it's already constructed. You just need to
Exactly.
just give it 1 or 2 touch. And
Exactly.
that's all. But so when we're talking about restaurant now, I think if you get a space and you start gradually with something, let's say 500, 600,000.
Okay. You can
You
build
can
a
start
successful
something
business. Well,
Something
that's good.
small.
That's
And
good.
most importantly in this country,
Okay.
you need what they call networking. You need contacts.
Exactly. Definitely.
You having a restaurant is 20% of what you need.
And then
Having to run that business, you need 80% of connection.
for people to come
Like
patronize
this
you.
person referrals, that's what I mean. Somebody to refer you, know what you're doing, know your food is okay, is neat, is natural. And mostly, I have some people in Ministry of Health, some doctors. Whenever they come to primary health headquarters, they call me, Ajia, please, can you bring some food for us? For like 1 week, I do the cooking.
Okay.
Why? Because I cook, home cook.
Okay.
They don't believe I can actually prepare red oil stew for their special.
Okay. Wow.
So with that, doctor will just call me, hello, doctor, Ajia, please, can you bring this, do this and that? If you know what you're doing, and from there, she connects me to someone else. If I start listing the places we've actually gotten referral to, you'll be marveled, like in 2 years, this is what she has gotten. But of course, your handwork should be able to provide a very good answer to the question they'll give you out there.
Exactly.
Because it's actually a competitive market.
No, it is actually. Well, then talking about the competition, the complications, you know, getting a garden, getting your own space to start your own restaurant. Now let's simplify this process. You know, we Nigerians, there's one thing about us.
Yes.
We like doing things the easy way. We like looking for shortcuts.
Yes.
So do you think there are some sort of winning formulas when it comes to entrepreneurship? Or do you think you just have to go through the hard part and then crawl your way to success?
When you say hard part, what do you mean?
You know, when you start, of course, people are not going to take in whatever it is you're selling.
My mother
There will be
used to tell
rejection.
me
There will be people telling you that this will not
Let
work.
me tell you this. A lot of ladies, I am sorry to say this, we ladies, we want something good to come easy. But nothing good comes easy.
Definitely, exactly.
If you see
exactly.
people that things come easy for, it's check the background. Their parents must have worked for it. Or someone else somewhere has
Must
already
have worked
worked
for it.
them. So they are just coming. So definitely there's nothing that is easy. A lot of people want to start business today and want to get the profits today. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
When I started my restaurant, I had a lot of setback. Some of my staff could not stay. They're like, we're not getting enough customers. I'm like, no, I know what I want and I'm going for it. So that's the same thing that goes with my garden. 2, 3 people were coming. And now, alhamdulillah, we're having people that keep
Things are moving.
coming and all that.
Exactly.
So you had to pay the price. It has nothing hard about you paying the price. It's not the day we give birth to a child that the child works.
Definitely.
Everything had to be processed.
Definitely.
So you had to take the process. It's a gradual step,
Definitely.
which definitely we had to go through.
Definitely.
And a lot of people don't want to go through it.
Definitely.
So that's why they call it art. To me, it's not art. It's just a process.
It's just the way of the. It's just
The way of
path.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, well then that's good. Now, Z, talking about the process, you know, learning, going through the learning curve and learning everything you've learned, knowing what you know now, if you were to start again all over, what do you think you will do different compared to how you did it when you started?
What is it? I don't really think there's anything I will regret right now, because starting from the media to the insurance company, now becoming my own boss,
At least
it's
you've gotten
something
different
God has planned
exposures.
for me. I really needed those process. I needed the boldness. I needed to be patient. I need to learn to know the hard way. So all of those things were just preparing me to become who I am today. So I'm not regretting anything that I've passed through.
Okay.
So having to change is going to be the same process. I always thank my boss in the media. I thank my boss in the insurance company, because yes, especially my boss, I would say Mr. Davis.
Okay.
It's somebody I will always say thank him to. He trained me for 6 months. I know
Okay.
nothing about insurance. So he told me, Zainab, you need to be bold. Whenever you go somewhere, don't look as if you're begging them. Make it to look, yes, we're here for business.
They need
You
they
need me
what
just
you're
as well
selling.
as I need you.
Exactly.
Don't go there and say, sorry, sir, please, I need to do insurance.
At
No,
least you need to
go
be
in
bold,
and,
right?
good afternoon, sir.
I have something you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, I have something you actually need to be of
definitely.
more favor to you than I.
Definitely.
So I always say thank you to that man.
Okay. Well then, that's good. Now I'm talking about the challenges and all the stress and everything you have to come through or you have to go through for you to become what you've become right now. Now, what are some of those challenges, key challenges that you went through when you started out in your business? I'm sure people back home, would like to know it so that at least when they are faced with those challenges,
Yes.
they will use your experience to probably cross the hurdle.
Yes. It's the challenges I faced was people seeing you as a woman. The
Okay.
first thing they look at is your body. They don't look at your brain. And it actually got to me at first. That why do you have to look at my body, not my brain?
Exactly.
Look at what I have to offer on my upstairs, sorry, not what I have to offer you physically. Look at what I bring to the table. Well, looking at the ladies, they're like, oh, hello, how are you? But the moment you let them know, sir, we can actually do business. Ma, we can actually do business. They take you more serious.
Of course.
The truth is, in Abuja here, they appreciate to do business with women than men because they believe when a woman says business is business.
And when a man
it's
says
pleasure, it's pleasure.
business, you think it's not business?
I know. I've encountered a lot of people in the government offices, in private organizations,
Exactly.
one-on-one and all that. So when I tell you, a lot of top people prefer to do business with women because they believe they are more serious than some men.
Okay, well then, I wouldn't say I agree with that. I would say if a woman says business, it's business. If a man says business, he also means it's business.
Sometimes.
Okay, no problem. I'm talking about government. You just mentioned Abuja, you mentioned government office. Now, how do you think government policies affect businesses in Nigeria? Are they favoring businesses? Are they making way for businesses to prosper, or are they killing businesses? I will take it from that from that expression is a bad thing, right?
No, it's not. While I said two things, from the good part and the bad side.
Okay.
A lot of us in Nigeria, we are not ready to pay the price.
Definitely.
We just want things to be easy for us. Looking at the Western world, you pay tax, you pay practically everything. But we Nigerians want to cut corners.
Definitely.
Which is not right. We're not supposed to do that. That's the good part of it. I think government wants to do something that whatever you are using, you should be able to pay for it.
Exactly.
Why would you want to do a business that you just do 30% of what you got to do the business and you want to get a profit of 70%? It doesn't work like that.
Definitely.
A lot of Nigerians want it to work like that. It is not possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go to the bad side. The people managing the old thing, the old policy. A lot of people have personal interest. So it's really affecting we that are actually trying to struggle. Like, let's just give the diesel part. Diesel has a lot to do.
No, it does. It does.
Because from the diesel parts, people that are supplying perishable goods are now increasing the price.
Exactly.
And you wanted to improve. Okay, let me just give you an instance. Like, you sell the plate of a food like 2,000 naira, just an instance. And now the ingredient that will actually make the food, it's going to be 1,900. You have to pay staff, you have to pay rent and all that. And you tell the people that are coming to eat, they are going to increase it to 2,500. You don't want to reduce the quality. Just to maintain the quality and the quantity is just to increase the price a little. They start complaining. But they forget the person that is actually doing this have to go on with something.
Exactly.
I have to pay price, I have to pay staff, I have to pay rent and all that.
You have
There
all
are
these
some bills you
logistics.
really need to pay.
Definitely.
So in that part, I think government needs to sit up with the people that are actually handling their policy. But the policy, I think, I don't have a problem with it. Only just the management.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, because of time, we'll have to take a break. I'm in conversation with Madam Z. Now, do stay tuned for the break. I'll see you after the break. Well, you're welcome from the break. If you're just joining us, I'm in conversation with Madam Z. She is the CEO and the founder of Red Dishes.
Zeekan Red Dishes.
Sorry, Zeekan Red Dishes.
Yes.
So, Madam Z, now let's talk about the first time you started out in business. That very first moment, you started out and someone told you no. How did you take that? And how were you able to overcome that? Because I think for most people who are trying to start out in business, they start out and maybe, they get this beginner's luck, as we call it in business. You start out a business, you're not good at it, you don't know anything about it, but everything seems to be going right and you make some profit until you meet your first hurdle. So how were you able to overcome that? What did you do for you to become what you are right now?
I've not overcome that because we're still getting some no.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Up until this moment?
Yes.
Okay, so then how are you overcoming that?
Yeah, whenever I get the no, I was like, I'm on the right track.
Okay.
So because I have this belief that the moment I get something that is too smooth, Zainab, watch it. I tell myself that. So, but I have a little, my own belief is the no I get is a challenge for me. It's telling me that's where you should continue.
Exactly.
So when the no is becoming like 60% to the yes, that's why I try to check, and it's 50-50, I move on. If it's still 40, 60, I say no. But most importantly, at night, I go back to my Allah and say, you placed me here.
Definitely, you have to go back to God,
You are
right?
the one that sets my feet here. You know what to do.
Give me the solution to these problems
That's
I'm
all.
faced with. Exactly. Talking about no doesn't mean no. I think actually, I myself was in network marketing. And one thing they've taught us is that if someone tells you no, he doesn't mean no.
No.
He means I don't understand what you're saying. So
or
expatiate
get a better
better.
place.
Definitely. So no doesn't mean no. Now, because of time, we'll have to take the last question now. Madam Z, I'm sure we have a lot of people back home right now who are watching and will want to be just like you or even better than you.
Yeah.
Now, what advice will you have to those young girls, those young people, those young Nigerians out of school who want to start out in business?
Keep pushing. Don't stop. It's going to be tough, yes, but don't stop. Keep pushing. Pray to Allah and say, God, this is what I want. If this is my road, lead my path. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. May Allah lead our path. That's what I always say.
Amen
so
to
no
that.
matter what, keep pushing. And one day, that door is going to open. That's all.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Z, for joining us on The
You're
Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. If you're just joining us, I'm in conversation with Z. She is the CEO of Zeekan Red Dishes, but because of time, we'll have to call it short. But there's a reminder that I want to remind us. There's this famous saying by Les Brown. He says, if you want something bad enough, you've got to want it bad enough that you go out and fight for it, that you work day and night for it, that you give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. And if all that you dream and scheme should be about it, then life should seem useless and worthless without it. Now, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, then with the help of God, you will get it. Now, thank you so much for joining us. I will be seeing you next week on The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Do have a lovely weekend. Why do you want to become an investor?
It's an abstract, and I think I would say it's based on our wits or our chances. It's a risk.
First of all, you have to have general understanding of that industry to start with.
Imagine you doing a transaction between Nigeria and China and it delivers within a spirit. How I got to make that money, the profit on it, I don't know. But you get faced with few challenges and you feel, oh, it's time to give up. Maybe this thing is not for me. It's not for any of us. Consistency, you have to be honesty, you have to.
Business, if you are being honest.
I am IBM Bangis and I remain your host for the show.